A culture, a people, an ethnicity, a proto-society can be judged by how it treats its most vulnerable. So, as an international community, supposedly there is one, the most vulnerable, like in Sudan and Palestinian people as well. If we look at how they're being treated, then we're not human as an international community. Even though there are signs of people doing things and how long it takes to do things, it's because as a people, we're not human. I don't think Hitler would have done what Bibi's doing, getting joy out of suffering of a people in the sense that it includes innocent, vulnerable sectors like it does. They would say, Hitler killed as many women and children, whatever. Well, he didn't prolong suffering like Bibi's doing and his Zionists. And does it mean that they're unwell because, every war builds on the traumas of the next war, and then the concept of war is another way to say that we're not human? And by the way, how do you define war? Is war, for example, when there's colonization happening, when there is, like an attempt to grab resources or land? Because the attack of October 7th is, I don't think they were trying to grab people as assets, let's say to put them to work or reproduce their numbers that would be low, or to grow food, or go in the mines, to work, and they weren't trying to expand. They're trying to send a message of what's been happening to the Palestinian people for a long time. So it wasn't a war attack. And what Israel is doing with the support of the so-called or stagnation of the international community is war turning into war crimes, turning into genocide, right? And there are people from other countries, including doctors volunteering from the United States, when their country could have paid and fabricated the weapon they'll die from. So again, there are people who are capable of sentience, but as a species, generally speaking, we're not human. We are called the Homo communia, and if you do the kind of work that I've never met anybody personally so far that does the work to self-actualize into an Homo sapien, you'll find they'll be the minority, and you can't count on them to save your inhumanity, right? For example, how many Jews or people from Israel are actually volunteering down there to help out? And if they're not, then what's sick with that people has been allowed way too long. They have not been held in check by this so-called international community, and then the international community has to ask themselves, why do they have so much power over us? Is it the nonsense of religions? Is it that they have a lot of allies because of the nonsense of religions? So economically speaking, we don't want to oppose these allies with big militaries? The choices aren't made by human values reflecting sentience, right?